Let's go to Iowa.
Election 2024 with Team Gallagher's Joey Hudson.
Who was right in the middle of it all last night. Where were you, my friend?
Mike, I was in Dallas County, which is one of several counties that makes up the Des Moines, Iowa area. This is in West Des Moines at a rec center. They combined 3 different precincts there to make one of the largest gatherings, I'm told, in the area. Now, I've been seeing a lot written about and talked about as far as turnout. There certainly was not a turnout issue at this Dallas County caucus because there were hundreds and hundreds of people there. And, you know, the thing that struck me as well, I had been hearing, well, turnout's going to be bad among older people. Well, I tell you, there was, I'm going to say the average age was probably at least mid-50s up, maybe even 60s up. They were there in their wheelchairs, their walkers, people were there. And you know, it was interesting to talk with them because they were doing it because it's their duty. I heard the word duty over and over again. It's my patriotic duty, or it's my duty as an American to be here tonight, regardless of the winter weather that they've been experiencing here.
Well, it's a dishonest talking point that there was any kind of a suppressed turnout. There was unprecedented, horrible winter weather. In 2016, the turnout was around 180,000 in Iowa. Last night, it was over 110,000. Give me a break. There was a suppressed turnout. There was horrific winter weather. When you're elderly and you're at a precinct somewhere in the middle of a cornfield somewhere and you can't get the car to start at 9 o'clock at night when it's 10 below zero, that's a problem. And everybody understands that. I know that Iowans are a hardy bunch, and I appreciate that, but there was no turnout problem. I mean, my gosh, people were energized, like you said, and I want to see what the mood was like of the caucus goers you spoke to last night, Joey.
Well, I think the big thing from last night was that these people, they have hope. They are enthusiastic about our prospects in November. They take it very seriously. And to every single one of them, when I would start asking them, well, why are you here tonight? Why do you think it's important that you come to your caucus meeting? Again, they all want our country back. They're tired of Joe Biden. They're tired of the Democrats and seeing the things that they've destroyed, and they're just ready for a change. I spoke with one caucus goer specifically. His name was Richard. He's a retired vet, very proud. He was wearing his Trump cap and said that he was there specifically to let President Trump know that we needed him back in Washington. This is Richard.
Support Donald Trump. I think he got a raw deal in his presidency. I think he exposed a bunch of corruption within the government, and I'm hoping that he can get back in there and straighten it up a little bit.
What's the most important issue that you'd like to see him to go to work on?
Well, there's more than one.
Okay.
Corruption, the budget, and the border.
And that last issue, the border, immigration, was probably, besides the economy was one of the top issues that people were talking about. But our southern border was another key issue that Iowans want to see somebody to finally close the border and do something about the illegals who are flooding into our country.
Joey, I want to share with you what Rachel Maddow said last night in explaining why MSNBC censored his speech. Trump gave a very gracious victory speech. In fact, he was kind towards DeSantis and Nikki Haley and certainly Vivek. Listen, I want to get your reaction to what a major cable news host said about a major cable news network's decision to openly engage in election interference by advocating against the guy who's going to be the GOP nominee in 2024. Check this out.
At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech. We will keep an eye on that as it happens. We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything noteworthy, something substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. That is a fundamental truth of our business and who we are. And so his remarks tonight will not air here live. We will monitor them and let you know about any news that he makes.
Yeah, I'll bet you will. Joey Hudson, Donald Trump once called the legacy media like MSNBC the enemy of the people. Yeah. Can there be any doubt that he was right?
Wouldn't you love to have heard or be able to sit in the room and hear them discussing this? First off, if they really did discuss it, of whether or not they're going to air Donald Trump. But wouldn't you love to hear some of their objections? I mean, why would a major news organization not cover a man who just kicked off his campaign on his way to most likely a victory in November? Why would they not want to cover that news item?
And making history in the process. The biggest margin of victory that any Republican has ever posted in Iowa was Bob Dole with 13 points. Trump won by 30 points. He made history last night. Of course it's a news story. And of course NBC is engaged in election interference. They're not going to cover this guy this year, Joey. And Rachel Maddow confirmed it. They are the enemy of the people. They are the enemy of the state. They're corrupt. They're disgusting. They're reprehensible, and if anybody at the NBC organization had a shred of decency on the management level, they'd fire all of them. But they won't, because they are actively engaged in trying to thwart the will of the people. And I want to make sure people know just how bad it is, because the corruption is deep. Donald Trump was absolutely right. They are literally the enemy of the people. And it is absolutely appalling that smug, sanctimonious woman would look into the camera and pretend to know what Donald Trump would lie about. How do you know he's going to tell lies when you don't even cover the speech? They don't care about covering the speech because they want him to lose. Gone are the days of any shred of objectivity by the mainstream media, and it really does. It infuriates me. It ought to make every American sick to their stomach.
Yeah. Well, and the irony is she's talking about, we want to get to the truth. We're all about truth here. Well, it's their filtered truth. They want to decide what our truth is. It drives me insane as well, because they're doing a big disservice to the American people. Look, stop watching them. That needs to be our message, is stop watching these networks.
Well, check out the ratings lately. People have. Joey Hudson, we'll check with you again. There you go. We'll check with you again later this hour. Appreciate your great coverage. You've been doing a great job in Iowa, and we appreciate you very much. Our correspondent at large, Joey D. Hudson, here on the Mike Gallagher Show. Coming